What made a general personally apologize to a private? I found out when Major General Davis accused me of being a coward in front of 200 soldiers at Fort Campbell. It was March 2019 and our unit was preparing for deployment to Syria. I was Private Tyler Walsh, 20 years old, barely 2 years in the Army. The general was visiting to inspect our readiness and boost morale before we shipped out. Everything started when he noticed I wasn't wearing a combat patch on my right shoulder. In the Army, that patch shows you've been deployed to a combat zone. No patch meant no deployment experience. During his walkthrough of our formation, he stopped directly in front of me, looked me up and down like I was defective equipment. "Son, why don't you have a combat patch?" he asked loudly enough for everyone to hear. "Sir, I haven't deployed yet," I answered. His expression changed immediately. "How long have you been in my Army?" "2 years, sir." "2 years and you've never volunteered for deployment?" His voice was getting louder, more aggressive. Every soldier in the formation could hear this conversation. "Sir, I've requested deployment 3 times. Each request was denied." He wasn't listening. "I see soldiers like you all the time, happy to collect a paycheck, content to let others do the fighting while you stay safe stateside." The entire formation was dead silent. You could feel 200 pairs of eyes watching this public humiliation. My face was burning with embarrassment, but I stayed at attention. "Tell me, Private, what exactly have you been doing for 2 years while real soldiers were overseas?" "Sir, I've been training new recruits at the Warrior Training Center, plus attending college classes during off-duty hours." He laughed. Not a pleasant sound. "College boy, huh? Figures. More interested in books than bullets." That's when my platoon sergeant, Staff Sergeant Martinez, stepped forward. "Sir, if I may clarify something about Private Walsh's situation." The general waved him off. I'm not finished with this conversation. But Martinez kept talking. "Sir, Private Walsh has been denied deployment because he's our primary instructor for combat medical training. His civilian background makes him irreplaceable in that role." "What civilian background?" the general demanded. "Before enlisting, Walsh was a paramedic in Detroit for 4 years. He saved more lives here on base than most soldiers save downrange. Last month alone, he responded to 3 serious accidents." The general's expression started to shift. He looked back at me with less certainty. Martinez continued. "He's also been volunteering at the Nashville VA hospital every weekend, helping combat veterans with PTSD. Uses his medical training and military experience to connect with guys who are struggling. Plus, sir, the reason his deployment requests keep getting denied is because Division Medical specifically requested he stay stateside. They're using his training methods at 3 other bases now." You could see the realization dawning on the general's face. He'd just publicly destroyed a soldier who was actually contributing more than most. The silence stretched on for what felt like forever. 200 soldiers watching their general realize he'd made a massive mistake. Finally, he stepped closer to me. "Private Walsh, what's your long-term career plan?" "Sir, I'm finishing my bachelor's degree in emergency medicine, then planning to apply for medical officer school." "Want to be a combat medic officer?" He nodded slowly. "How many lives have you saved since enlisting?" "Honestly, sir, I don't keep count." Martinez spoke up again. "Base medical estimates around 40 lives saved through his medical responses and training programs combined." The general was quiet for another long moment. Then he did something I never expected. "Private Walsh, I owe you an apology. In front of this entire formation, I questioned your courage and commitment based on incomplete information." He turned to address the whole unit. "This soldier represents everything right about our Army, serving others, improving himself, and making everyone around him better. I was wrong to judge him." Then he looked back at me. "Your next deployment request will be approved personally by me, but I'm also recommending you for immediate promotion to specialist and a commendation medal for exceptional service." 2 weeks later, I got called to division headquarters. The general had arranged for me to meet with the chief medical officer about fast-tracking my application to medical school. He also wrote a personal letter of recommendation that basically guaranteed my acceptance. Last month, I graduated as a 2nd lieutenant in the medical corps. The general attended my commissioning ceremony, shook my hand afterward, and said 4 words I'll never forget. "Army needs more like you." That public apology taught me more about leadership than any manual ever could. Sometimes the highest-ranking person in the room is the one who needs to learn the most.